From Tony the Tiger to the Honey Monster and Captain Birdseye to Buzby, today's Stuview TV video looks back at some of the most memorable advertising mascots in British television history. As an added bonus, I'll also be remembering some mascots who are now somewhat forgotten. Let's start with arguably the most famous advertising mascot of them all, Tony the Tiger. Amazingly, Big Cat Tony has been the face of Kellogg's Frosties, or Frosted Flakes as they are known in the United States and Canada, for over 70 years, making his debut all the way back in 1952. At the time of his debut, Tony was just one of 4 potential mascots for the cereal in the United States, with Kellogg's looking to choose the one that was most popular with the public. Tony was ultimately victorious over his competitors, Katie the Kangaroo, Elmo the Elephant, and Newt the Gnu. In his younger days, Tony the Tiger walked on all fours, had a rugby ball-shaped head, and was rather slender. Tony gradually began to evolve until he became the muscle-bound, booming-voiced tiger we all know and love.
Hi. Welcome to Tony's Breakfast Show. 6:30 and I'm raring to go. Oh no! A slipped disc. Where are my Frosties? Crisp corn, crunchy sugar coating. Wow, Frosties are great! It's 6:35 and I'm coming alive. Here comes the latest hit. Get it? Frosties, they make a tiger of you. I really dig them.
There have been a number of people providing Tony's distinctive voice over the years, the most prolific being actor Thurl Ravenscroft, who was the voice of Tony across the world for over 50 years. A big rival to Tony the Tiger in the cereal world is the Honey Monster. The face of Sugar Puffs since 1976, the lovable monster had the honour of the cereal being named after him when it became Honey Monster Puffs in 2014. Although undoubtedly the most famous, the Honey Monster hasn't always been the mascot for Sugar Puffs. The cereal was first launched in the UK by Quaker Oats way back in 1957, with the original mascot being Jeremy the Bear. In 1976, complete with a new slogan that would go on to achieve iconic status, the Honey Monster burst onto our screens alongside co-star Henry McGee.
I'd like to introduce you to Honey Monster.
Mummy.
I'm not his mummy. Now, to help a honey monster through the morning, I give him breakfast, including sugar puffs and milk.
Tell him about the honey, Mummy.
Pieces of natural wheat, puffed up and tasting of honey.
Honey, the taste of honey. I love my honey. I love my mummy. I love my mummy.
So, if anyone asks why sugar puffs taste so good, remember...
Tell him about the honey, Mummy.
Despite many more campaigns over the years, these original adverts remain the most memorable to those of us of a certain age. From breakfast cereals to a product strictly for adults, who remembers George the Hofmeister Bear? Despite wearing white socks with black shoes and black trousers, George was the epitome of 80s cool, particularly with the snazzy pork pie hat perched atop his head. Asking us to follow the bear, Jack the Lad George enjoyed nothing more than drinking his favourite Hofmeister lager down the pub, while showing off his considerable skills at pool and darts, and a talent for dance.
So the cold Hofmeister is sliding down like a dream, when this girl comes up and asks me what I do. So I tell her I'm a dispensing chemist, which really impresses her for a bear. And I'll read her prescription anytime. Sometimes I think the medical profession is misunderstood. I prescribe Hofmeister twice nightly. A great lager. Follow the bear.
Such a hit with viewers was George, he even became popular with children, something which didn't sit well with some people considering what he was advertising. After a long time out of production, Hofmeister has returned in recent years, and so, in turn, has George. Everyone's favourite beer-swilling bear has changed now though, No longer a Jack the Lad, George is now a more sophisticated bear. Now, here's a quick quiz for you which involves two famous dogs, the Dulux dog and the Andrex puppy. The question is, which of these two famous mascots hit our TV screens first? And the answer, first appearing on TV in 1961, the Dulux dog. Since that initial appearance in 1961, the Dulux dog has become such an inseparable part of the company's marketing campaigns. The Old English sheepdog breed is often referred to as a Dulux dog, rather than its official breed name. This really highlights the lasting impact of this endearing canine on the public's consciousness. Throughout the years, various dogs have appeared in the Dulux ads, but they all share a striking similarity due to the meticulous selection process. The very first Dulux dog, Dash, held the prestigious role for 8 years, charming audiences everywhere. Taking over from Dash, Digby was perhaps the most famous Dulux dog of them all. Not just a TV star, Digby even made his mark on the silver screen, taking the lead in the 1973 British comedy film Digby, the Biggest Dog in the World. Slightly smaller in stature but no less adorable, the Andrex puppy made its debut in 1972. However, it was almost never seen at all. Initially, Andrex wanted to feature a little girl in their advertisement, but the Advertising Standards Authority deemed this to be encouraging waste, so in came the little Labrador puppy. The puppy certainly stole the show with its playful antics, prancing through households, leaving a trail of unwound toilet paper behind. The Andrex puppy was very soon a household favourite, beloved for its endearing presence and comforting charm. It certainly wasn't easy filming each advert. Can you imagine trying to get a horde of playful puppies to act on cue, or even keep them all awake during the filming process? Despite these hurdles, the Andrex puppy's irresistible charm and appeal has left an indelible mark in the hearts of the British public. Predating even the Dulux dog, the PG Tips chimps first made their mark on screen way back in 1956, before being retired in 2002. The beloved series of advertisements starring the Tips family featured chimpanzees from Twycross Zoo in Leicestershire, dressed in various human guises, the most famous ad probably being the one concerning Mr. Shifter, the piano mover.
Get in the hang of it. Mind the banisters, son.
Oh, I can't hold it, Dad.
Don't worry, son. I shifted more pianos than you've had hot dinners.
Cree, Mr. Shifter. Like refreshment.
Oh, thank you most kindly, madam. One way of shifting it.
When a good cup of tea really counts, you're right to drink Brook Bond PG Tips. It's the tea you can really taste.
Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot?
You hum it, son. I'll play it.
Twycross Zoo founder Molly Badham always insisted that the chimps enjoyed dressing up in human costumes, and while the animals were always treated well and never abused, in later years many of the chimpanzees who had starred in the adverts found it difficult to interact naturally with others of their kind, as they had been used to human interaction for so long. Although we will never see this type of advertising again, there is little doubt that the PG Tips chimps will always have a place in our affections. From animals to humans now, it's the Milky Bar Kid. Hands up all of you who, when seeing a Milky Bar today, still shout, "The Milky Bars are on me!" The fact that this series of adverts starring everyone's favourite pint-sized Wild West hero first began in 1961 shows how much of an impact this simple phrase has had on our collective memories. There have been a number of young actors to portray the Milky Bar Kid over the years, the very first being Terry Brooks, who assumed the role from 1961 to 1966. Another familiar Milky Bar Kid to those of us who grew up in the 1970s was John Cornelius, who played the character from 1974 to 1978. The most familiar 1980s incarnation was probably Robbie Humphries, who had the role from 1983 to 1986. These are just 3 of the more than 10 young actors who have been, at one time or another, the Milky Bar Kid. A daredevil action hero clad in black, set ladies' hearts fluttering when he delivered his first box of milk tray chocolates in 1968. This James Bond-style macho man risked life and limb for 34 years, all to deliver a box of chocolates to various beautiful women. It was all done undercover, of course, with a mysterious calling card left next to the box. Now, if I was him, I wouldn't have bothered scaling mountains, outrunning avalanches or jumping out of helicopters if the lady in question didn't even realise who had left her the chocolates in the first place. The most famous of the various milk tray men over the years is probably Australian actor Gary Myers, who portrayed the silent hero from his first appearance in 1968 all the way through to 1984, appearing in 11 adverts in total. Let's set sail now into the tale of Captain Birdseye, the beloved face of the Birdseye frozen food brand. This seafaring legend is often portrayed as a wholesome seasoned sailor with a distinguished white beard and a friendly pirate-style accent. Actor John Hewer, who played the character from 1967 to 1998, was a notable figure in Captain Birdseye's legacy, bringing the lovable captain to life for over 30 years. In a bold brand revamp in 2018, the torch was passed on to the Italian-born seafarer Riccardo Acerbi, breathing new life into the timeless legend of good old Captain Birdseye and his trusty fish fingers. During the 1970s, the most famous feathered mascot had to be Buzby. Buzby was the promotional face of BT, then known as Post Office Telecommunications. First fluttering onto our television screens in 1976, Buzby implored us to make someone happy with a phone call, all done in the very familiar and comforting voice of the late great Bernard Cribbins.
Boomtown, scrapyard.
Hello, Hudson.
It's Buzby.
Buzby, my old friend.
Hudson, you old dog, you. Yeah, what have you been up to?
Well, Buzby, I've been meaning to come round to see you, but I've been tied up lately.
You rascal. Been chasing the milkman again?
Well,
And you know that cute little poodle up the road?
yeah.
He keeps asking about you.
No.
This little talkative bird was soon everywhere, with spin-off merchandise such as badges, stickers, toys, books, and even a watch, proving to be very popular. Before we get to perhaps the most iconic advertising mascots of them all, let's pay tribute to some of those who seem to be a little forgotten these days. For instance, who remembers Toot and Ploot, the friendly aliens who came to Earth in the 1970s to enjoy holidays at Butlins? Fast forward to the 1980s and there was Clifford, a Willie Rushton-voiced dragon who suffered from bad breath until he discovered Listerine. Finally, there's Chewy, the Chewits monster who munched his way through a series of truly wonderful adverts.
We took the muncher to some of the best places to eat in the world. He ate the Taj Mahal,
Yeah.
the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Empire State Building. But not one of these buildings could match the delicious chewy flavors of Chewits. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Chewits are even chewier than Barrow in Furness Bus Depot.
Arguably the greatest series of advertisements ever seen on British television was that for Cadbury Smash, featuring the Smash Martians. First appearing on our screens in 1974, the group of metal Martians who roared with laughter at the laborious way we humans prepared mashed potato have become iconic figures in British telly history.
On your last trip, did you discover what the Earth people eat? They eat a great many of these. They peel them with their metal knives. Boil them for 20 of their minutes. then they smash them all to bits. They are clearly a most primitive people.
For mash, get smash.
With sales of Cadbury Smash going through the roof due to the success of these commercials, our Martian friends were still promoting the benefits of instant mashed potato in the opening years of the 1980s, with the slogan for Mash, Get Smash rightly taking its place in the annals of British TV history.
After the day's labours, how nice to come home to the wife. A pair of slippers and a plate of Cadbury Smash. Because it's made of real potato pieces, it ensures a mashed potato with a taste that's unbeatable.
That is good.
And then what better than to curl up satisfied in front of your favourite comedy programme?
And after peeling all for 20 minutes...
For mash, get smash.
As this video is all about advertising, I thought I'd sneak one in myself by telling you about my book, Proper Telly, which is available on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle formats.